Hey everyone, so I know you have the notes here attached all filled out, but figured I'd do a quick walkthrough of just some of the major points that we talked about in the PowerPoint notes, just so you have an idea of how they went today. Please make sure you watch the video attached first. So that's going to provide a lot more examples to these big ideas that we talked about in the notes today. So it's a very important video to watch. It's a good one. So please make sure you watch that first here. So today was on human population growth and how it's grown over time. So if you watched the video here, we know that the human population itself has grown very rapidly in the last 500 years. It's grown quite exponentially, in fact. And until recently seemed like it was not going to be kept in check. And there's a few reasons why. So one of the big movements that we had a couple hundred years ago is the Industrial Revolution. So that was a transition to new manufacturing processes. And this transition included going from hand production methods to machines, chemical manufacturing, iron, etc. That brought a lot of jobs. Also with it brought a lot of new innovations on how to transport supplies and materials. So using trains instead of horse and buggy, so you're able to get a lot more supplies to places a lot more quickly. And just in the development of new machines and chemicals led to the development of new ways in order to treat and help the things that were initially causing people to die, and that kind of kept the population in check. So after the Industrial Revolution, we have a period that we like to call the Great Acceleration. So this has happened within the last 70 years. So really within, for your grandparents, like within your grandparents' lifetime. And the human population in this case has increased at quite an exponential rapid rate. Advancements in science, medicine, technology, how we transfer food has increased quality of life and have allowed people to live longer and death rates to fall. The video talked about how people would have 8, 9, 10 children just because quite a few of those children would die. They wouldn't make it to adulthood. So they intentionally had quite a lot of children in hopes that a few would survive. So that's why your grandparents or great-grandparents might have had families of 8, 9, 10. I had 6 on one side and 9 on the other. And so that's because not all of your children would survive. But now because of these advancements, the children were surviving. So thus a big population boom. So much of a population boom that we call this the Anthropocene, or age of the humans. Now, because of this population boom, we've had quite a few consequences because of it that we're going to be talking about over the next couple weeks. First is global warming and climate change. So the increase in carbon emissions due to the Industrial Revolution has led to global warming, and that in turn causes climate change. So it causes long-term changes or drastic changes that are extreme weather events that we haven't had before. When it comes to how much precipitation we have, or temperature, hurricanes, the kind of storms. Desertification, over farming. So we need to feed all of these people. So over farming, too much overgrazing causes drought. And as we know too, overgrazing can harm animal populations. Deforestation, or clearing out area for logging. So that destroys communities, plant communities, of course. Pollution. So the excess use of pollution, when pollutants are concentrated, they can pass through trophic levels and harm individual species. A very popular example that we talked about in class today is DDT, one of the first pesticides. So those actually killed a lot of bird species back when it was first in use. So we'll learn about sustainable development. So some things that you can do as a person to cause little effect long term, or to use as little energy as possible. And that's including renewable and non-renewable resources, or reducing your ecological footprint. So just the impact of the environment that you have.